Mikaela, how are you, champ?
I'm doing well, thank you.
When are we gonna see you back again in the ring?
So my next fight was just announced about a week ago. I'm going up to super welterweight, so one division up, 154 pounds, and challenging Mary Spencer for her WBA world title.
How do you feel at this point of your career?
I feel better than ever. I really do. I feel great. I'm not cutting weight anymore. I got an addition to my team. Kofi Jantua has made all the difference in the world. I feel more skilled. I feel stronger. I feel healthier. I'm getting better every day. So I know I'm older, and people may have kind of counted me out at this point, but I'm in my prime.
Yeah, I remember I saw you, I think last year, Keyshawn Davis was fighting in Virginia against Lemos. You told me that you was thinking about fighting Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano, right?
Well, yeah, all those fights were on the table for me, or in my mind, because obviously I've always wanted to challenge myself against Katie Taylor. She just beat Amanda Serrano again at 140. Going down to 140 was an option. I really want to go undisputed and fight Lauren Price at 47. That's the goal, but we can't get the fight done for other logistic reasons. So it was either go down to 140 or go up to 54. Looks like Chantel isn't available for that. She just got mandated to fight Katie Taylor, so we're waiting to see, if Katie's gonna accept that. And so 154 it is. I want to stay busy and I want to take on big fights, so that was the best option.
At this point of your career, are you fighting for belt, championship, or legacy?
I'm fighting for legacy. It's never been about all the belts and the world title. It was never really about that. For me, it was taking on the biggest and best fights possible. I probably could have taken an easy filler fight, until I got the undisputed fight with Lauren Price, but I didn't want that. I wanted to challenge myself. I maybe only have a few years left in this sport, and so by the time I hang it up, I want to make sure I did everything possible to challenge myself the best and fought all the names that I wanted to fight.
Now this Saturday 13 we have a fight, right? Canelo Crawford. Who win?
I'm going for Canelo. Crawford. I'm going for Crawford. Obviously a big fan of both, but I've always been a fan of Crawford. We've trained a lot together back in Colorado Springs. I think he's a really well-rounded fighter. I think he has a lot of tools, maybe more tools, more diverse than Canelo. Obviously Canelo's a big puncher, and so he's got to watch out for that. Everyone's kind of not knowing if Crawford's going to be big enough to handle Canelo's power, but I think he's a great fighter. He's one of my favorites, and I see him coming out on top.
You're choosing the skills against the height advantage, right?
Yep, I choose it, and I'm going to 54. I'm going to be the smaller fighter too, but size doesn't win fights. Skill does. So I'm going for Crawford on the skill side, maybe by decision though.
Wow, this is very impressive. I know we interview a couple of fighters and nobody wants to say so much, What makes you really, I see you're really sure that the Crawford is gonna win?
Yeah. Well, one, I'm a little biased because I think that I favor that style more. He's more of a boxer, more diverse with his punch selection. He switches left and southpaw to orthodox. Now Canelo does what he does really, really well, but I think just Crawford is a little bit more elusive and has a few more tools, so you're not really sure what he's going to come out doing. We know what Canelo's going to do. You're not really sure what Crawford's going to do.
We'll see it this Saturday, right?
Yeah.
What about Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul?
I don't know if I have an opinion on this yet. I thought it was a joke when they announced that. I do believe that size doesn't win fights, skill does, but that is a big size difference. So it's hard for me to count out someone like Gervonta Davis, though. He just has so much experience and skill, and even though he's smaller, he can get right up underneath Jake Paul, and that's the downside of being a tall fighter. You never want a shorter fighter to get up underneath you, especially someone as powerful and slick as Gervonta. So I don't know if Jake has the experience to keep him at bay and to not let him, kind of come up from underneath and get to him. So if I had to put money on it, I got to put money on Gervonta.
Definitely, but you give Jake Paul now that respect.
I do, yeah.
As a boxer.
I give him respect as a boxer, as a promoter. Women a lot of women still don't have a platform in the sport. A handful of us do. We're really lucky, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And the way he's picking up women and helping build them and promote them and get them fights, women who've been on the scene a long time just haven't had the platform to show their skills. So you got to respect that. He obviously takes boxing very seriously. He trains very hard. You see him getting better and better. So I have nothing bad to say about Jake Paul. I think he's doing great things for the sport.
And Mikaela, thank you very much for everything. And